Hey bananas, we think you're groovy, Hey bananas, we want your movie, yeah. Driving choo buggies everywhere, just going crazy without a care. Hi everyone, Plastic EP here from Melbourne, Australia, and we're going all the way to Texas. We're going to Texas. How are you today, Eric Cash?
Doing well. How are you?
Now, just got to tell you, you're a great Beatles artist, and the artwork that you do is not just only Beatles. You do a lot of work for commercial and celebrities and things like that. Just tell me a little bit about that.
I do a lot of commercial work for corporations, individuals. I've done a lot of sports art, music art like the Beatles, many different things. I've been doing it commercially since the late 80s, and I've been attending Beetle Fest for the last about 20 years and selling prints at the Beetle Fest. And I've done a lot. I mean, I've done everything from beer labels to billboards to anything you can think of.
That's fantastic. Now, I've got to go. We're going straight into the Beetle Prince because the world's waiting to see these. Okay. Let's show me those prints.
All right, here's one. This one's I did a few years ago. It's kind of shiny. I hope you can see it okay.
No, that's fine. It's coming up matte. It's fine. Just lift it a bit higher. Up a bit. And just back a bit. That's perfect right there. That's fantastic. How long did it take to do that original painting? I know
about 3 months. It's pretty good size painting. It's about 4.5 feet by 4 feet.
That's great. Let's see the next one. Oh, I love that one. That one, the colors on it.
Yeah.
That pink in the background and all those colors off his shirt. Yeah. I love that one.
Thank you.
How long did that take to do that one?
This one was about 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of research goes into it. Like the one that I just got through doing, the Hey Jude, that's from about 6 or 7 different photos. I try to, what I call Frankenstein a painting together. So I'm not just copying one photo. I'll put like that Hey Jude that I did. This is actually about 5 or 6 different photos put into one, and then I do a sketch from that, and then that's what I make my painting from. Here's another one that.
Yeah, I like that too. How long did it take to do that one?
That one was a little bit longer because I had to sort out all the arrows. See, like the actual photo is probably somebody took a picture in I think their Paris show before they came to the States from the balcony. And I really liked the angle, but it had a lot of amps and a lot of stuff in the way. And I thought, I really like this angle because it's different. And I liked the composition, but I wanted to put it on a different stage. So the only really cool stage I could think of was this Sullivan stage when they first appeared in America. And the only shot you ever see of this is the television angle, which is straight ahead. So I had to base everything off of this center arrow, or this one is pointed right at Ringo's bass drum. So I knew that if I based off that, I could work them out. So
that was amazing too.
I sell a lot of my prints. I sell the originals, to people that want to buy them, and sell a lot of prints through my website. And at Beetle Fest, because of the recent plague, I've missed both Beetle Fest this year. But I've painted like maybe 4 new Beetle paintings in the last 5 months. So I'm going to have a lot to show when I get to the next fest.
I got to say, that yellow submarine that you got going through the water, you got to tell me where they can see that on the website. Where is that one?
If you go to my website, www.ericcashillustration, one word, you'll see it on there. And it's on Facebook. You'll see it a lot on Facebook. And I did that a few years ago. I sold the original about 2 years ago. That was actually one that I wanted to keep because it was pretty unique, and I just was really proud of the way that turned out. But I ended up selling it. You can't eat the canvas. I got kids to feed, so.
Exactly. Now let's see that original that you want to show all the viewers on
Sure.
my show, which is fantastic. Now we're going from Prince to the original. Let's have a look at this one. Look at that. What more do you say except that's fantastic?
Yeah, that's
How long did it take
I
to paint that?
Sorry?
How long did it take to paint that?
This actually, I wanted to do this as quick as I could do it. I did this in 4 days.
4 days.
I actually did this in 3 days, and then 1 day to put a finishing varnish on it.
Okay, I've got to say, we've got a lot of people texting in at the moment. You got a big hello from Sean Weiss. You got a hello from Charles Rosenay. Charles does Beetle Fests.
Sure, I know them both.
You got so many people coming on. You got Bobadoo, right? Mr. Puppet, fantastic guy. I don't know if you've seen his videos with me, but I love the guy. And they're all just coming in now watching this. So now we're talking about art, right? Beatles art. I just think from what I've seen, and I know there's a lot of Beatle artists out there, and I know I've got a few interviews coming up with some great ones. But this art that I'm seeing, it's like to own it and have it in your home. It's just amazing. And if you can't own it, at least you can get the print. Can I ask you, are you able to tell me a few of the celebrities that have bought some of your paintings?
Some of the musicians you know about. Paul has one of my prints. McCartney, he's got one of my prints.
Which one was that?
Actually, it's a painting that I did called The Introduction. It's a painting I did about at the 50th anniversary when they first met in 2007, and it's a big, huge painting that depicts John and Paul meeting for the first time as teenagers during the, after the Walton fete on July 6, 1957. And I mean, there's been a lot of articles on that. It's appeared in a book by the History Channel and on music, a lot of different things. It's been around a lot. And he has a print of that. Billy J. Kramer. A lot of people have some of my originals and prints. Like I said, I've done a lot for athletes and even a president. President owns one of my paintings. President Bush, also from Texas. Just a lot. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
All right, the originals, I know you sold them, as you said. But so far, that green, yellow submarine going through the water, is that probably one of your most favorite ones?
It's one of my most favorite ones because it was a departure from what I normally do, and it sort of became better as I worked along. I didn't have a lot of the particulars worked out like I have on most of these. I have a lot of sketches for every painting, and I do them in oils. It's oil on canvas. It's a real traditional way. And it takes a long time. A lot of times I work in layers and glazes and things like that. But that one came together pretty quick. And like I said, I kind of didn't make it available for sale. And then a friend of mine asked me about it and said, hey, do you still have that one for sale? I said, yes. So we negotiated a price, and she owns it.
You know what I like about that painting? I'll tell you what I like about that painting that makes it different. The angle of the submarine coming through the water is not your normal angle.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Was a last-minute change. Well, that was a last-minute change. Originally, I had it coming towards me, and there was something about it. I even had at one point, I thought about maybe where you could see the Beatles through the window, but I knew that was completely not the way I wanted to go. It needed to be real. It needed to look as if the Yellow Submarine was not a cartoon, and it just sort of went by like magically, like you weren't even sure that you really saw it, like you just looked and you just missed it. The idea of it being going away, like you just missed it coming and going. You're like, hey, that was the Yellow Submarine. That's kind of the appeal for me for it. And so I was really happy with it.
Have you done any Beatle cartoons, drawings, and paintings of the cartoons?
Of the cartoons?
Yeah.
I've done some, not anything serious. I've done some for my kids, but not anything really. I've thought about doing a coloring book that I think would be pretty fun to do. I do have a children's book that was out about 5-6 years ago that I worked with an author, Judith Kristen, and we did a book called Once Upon a Time in Liverpool. And it's actually being remade as we speak into a hardback book. And it's going to be available probably in the next month. And it looks like a children's book. The artwork, I painted it almost like a Dick and Jane. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Dick and Jane readers, so anyway, it's a little bit of a departure from what this stuff that I just showed you. It's a looser, simpler style of art, but really proud of it. It's done really well. It's had some good sales, and it's really good, and it's going to be coming out soon. So be awesome.
Yeah.
Look for it.
How do you find the reaction from fans? I mean, they must love you. When they see some artwork there, they obviously want to buy it on the spot and own it. Is that the reaction you get?
That is a lot of the reaction. I've had some really great times at the Beetle Fest, meeting Beetle people at the fest, and they come in and a lot of my best friends. You mentioned Bob Abdu, Mr. Puppet. I met him at a Beetle Fest, and that's the thing about the Beatles is everybody has such a personal relationship with the group that when you meet somebody that is a Beatle fan, you already have an instant connection with that person. No matter if you don't even know their name, you already have a major passion that you share, and it bridges a lot of gaps. Music is such a wonderful thing for people anyway, just in bridging gaps, and it's really an amazing thing. The fest and meeting the people, they all have one heart, and it's really an amazing experience. I love going and meeting other Beatle people and doing paintings that they really appreciate because they really get passionate about it. And it's just a thrill for me.
What you said, you hit the nail on the head. And as I said, you've been doing this basically all your life, but you turned professional. When did you turn professional? 88?
Well, I've been in contests since I was a kid, before I was even 10 years old. I won my first art contest in a Kool-Aid ad in the newspaper back in the mid-'60s. And that's all I really can do. That's all I really know how to. It's my only superpower is to paint or draw or anything. That's all I can really do and have confidence at. And I started doing it. It was difficult for me to want to do it professionally because the Beatles are so photographed and everybody knows every little inch of their face. I was afraid to put my stuff out there and have it so scrutinized, which we all tend to do because, like I say, we all have a personal relationship with the group. It's like I do a picture of Ringo and somebody looks at it like it's their brother-in-law. You're like, let me see how good you got his face. I didn't want to fall under that. And so I avoided it for the longest time. And then I just thought, I'm just going to do it. I have such a passion. I'm not a musician, so I wouldn't cover their songs, but I paint their images just because I have such a passion for the group. And it's sort of the way that I've been able to, experience that passion for them. And I really spend a long time on their images. The one that I just showed you, the original, is a much looser painting, but I still think even with a looser treatment, I was able to get Paul pretty close, on that. So I've been doing it professionally for 30 years, 25 years. And before that, I was giving my paintings away. So
everything you said makes sense. Like, the passion, the love, people just love the Beatles. You just hit the head on the nail on the head. I mean, you see a painting and you want to own it. You see a picture of Paul, you want to have it. Everyone's got their favorite Beatles. Like when the Beatles came in 1964 in America, Ringo was the one. He was the most popular Beatle. I mean, you wouldn't pick that. You wouldn't know that. But, I mean, how amazing is that? It's like me with the Monkees. Don't get me wrong. One week it's this one, the next week it's the other one. And that's what people do. They go through changes. Like all their life, it's John, it's John. I can understand. The passion they got for John is unbelievable. I'm telling that now. Same for Paul. All of them. It's amazing.
It really is. And, you mentioned the Monkees. Mike is from Dallas. Hey.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know him?
What's that?
Do you know him?
I don't know him. I know people that know him, and I know what high school he went to, and I think I have a yearbook somewhere with him in it. But yeah, I like the Monkees too, and the Beatles are just so special, I think, to so many of us. And I think Ringo, it was funny because they were sort of a novelty when they came here. Everybody, even though they really liked the music, nothing sounded like that ever. I mean, before that, you had nobody could, Paul Anka was big, or guys that were even like somebody like Buddy Holly or Elvis. Nobody knew who Elvis's bass player was back then. Nobody knew, but you knew everybody in the Beatles, and they were a group. They weren't one guy singing with a backing band. They were a group. And, Ringo, they had the name of it's the first time you'd really see the name of the group on the drum. And that iconic logo on Ringo's bass drum, that all is that due to Brian. Brian was a genius at marketing, and putting them on the Sullivan Show like 4 weeks in a row really solidified them. And I think with Ringo, he was just, everybody else kind of looked the same a little bit to the educated eye, but Ringo obviously and sounded and looked different. And I think early on he was sort of really popular because they were sort of a novelty, even though they really liked their music. But as they progressed, people, kind of found their way as to who they really liked. George has got a huge following. All of them do. Exactly. I mean, they're all great. You can't have one without the other, really.
Anyway, let me say this to Eric, and I'm serious. Because Mike Nesmith comes from Texas, you do a painting of Mike, like a portrait, right? It doesn't have to be too big. If you got the time and you decide to do it, when it's finished, I'll get you on the show to show it, and then we'll see if we can get that to Mike. All right? And I'm serious. To do it. All right.
I would wonder what he would appreciate more. Would he appreciate an image of him as a monkey, or today, the way he is now, or, what would he appreciate?
All right. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay. I personally think if you can do two images, right, on the same painting, one of him as a monkey and one of him now, all right, in the same picture, and he's looking back and he's looking forward. That's my opinion to you. If you end up doing that, only I want to know about it, and I want to see the progress of the painting from the start to the end. I'll videotape as you do it, right?
Right.
I'll put it together as a reel, and then you'll have the reveal, and then leave it to me. Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
I'll do that. I'm the painting I did, not the last one, the Hello Goodbye painting, but the one before that I did. Yeah, I love it. Great hat, man. It's just a cool.
You know what? He might even like the suit. He might even prefer this. He might prefer this as the earlier monkey, and you do a modern one.
Right.
Because he's wearing the new Roos suit there. Yeah. It's up to you.
No, I agree. I think a lot of the athlete commissions that I've done, I do a portrait of them, like a portrait, like a face portrait, and then I show them in action. And I think something like that, because he's got such an expanding career between then and now, that I think something like that, covering both bases, he'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, and as I said, you end up giving it to him, and he puts it in his home.
Hey, let's not start giving away artwork.
No, but I'm trying to say it's got nothing to do with the money.
No, I know.
It's the pride. It's the pride and the love that you're showing and giving it. So I can't tell you what to do, but if that happens, you and I will talk. It's not a problem.
I should send you a video I did of the last painting Beetle paintings that I painted, and it was about halfway finished. And I showed some of the reference material that I worked on. I had it all laid out, but my kids told me it was too long to post, so I didn't post it. But I'll send it to you. Maybe I could edit it down. But it kind of shows the process of what I'm doing as a painting.
Anyway, Eric, what I want to say today is I've seen enough. The world's seen enough. And I just want you now to go over all your websites and whatever contacts you got, if you can do that now for me.
Sure. My main website is www.ericcashillustration.com. One word. And you can find me also on Facebook. I have a Facebook art page, but I don't keep it up as well as I do. My biggest problem is marketing. All I know, I can just paint. I can paint, I can do, but marketing, and I feel funny about posting things on Facebook just because I got a lot of friends on there, and I don't know, it's shameless, but I know I need to do it because that's the way the world is now. So, but if you go www.ericcashillustration, that's my main website. And one thing I also want to say that I've done for people, and I started to tell you this earlier, I will put certain people in a painting. Like there's a painting that I have on there now where it shows the Beatles in the studio, and the engineers behind the glass are actually the guy who paid me to do it and his son. Because I can put them as police officers in front of the stage with the Beatles playing. I've done it before where they were umpires at a baseball game during a famous play. I did one where a lady wanted to be in it, her and her kids, and so I made her the stewardess of a Pan Am flight as they were coming off the down the stairs. So I do custom paintings for a lot of people, putting them in a Beatle painting. I also, even though my website will have certain sizes, I do other sizes. I'll do any size. That's the great thing about G Clays. It's fine art printing with acid-free, really nice stock paper. It's really, my printers do an amazing job, and yeah, I'm proud of it. And so,
it's been a fantastic interview, and I got a lot out of it, and I'm sure you did too. So just want to say, from Plastic EP and Eric Cash, you can take us out, Eric, and say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye to everyone. Hope to see you. Hope to see you soon at a fest or online, and I look forward to it.
I got to tell you, Plastic EP salutes you. All right.
Thank you, Plastic EP.
See you, Eric. Stay there.